Hello everybody, it's Rachel here at Clarty Hands Crafts. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a removable gatefold insert for your junk journal. To start with, you'll need a sheet of firm paper or light card, and it will need to be narrower than the full width of a signature page. That's why I'm trimming down a chunk of this off the edge of this A4 sheet. I made this piece 10 inches wide. Next, you will need to find the centre point of the paper. You can do this the easy way and fold the paper in half, or if you want to avoid a crease down the middle, you can measure and mark it lightly with a pencil. In this case, I needed to mark at 5 inches, and to keep things straight, I marked at the bottom and at the top. Now you can fold the outer edges inwards to line up with that centre point, being careful not to allow the edges to overlap in the middle. The gate should open freely, regardless of which side you open first. Once you've got them into position, you can give these folds a good press down to make sure that they keep in place. For the next step, I used a child's plate. You can use whatever you've got to hand. You need a circle shape to draw around, and the circle should be slightly larger than the width of the project. Centralise the circle as well as you can, aligning it with the point that you marked at the top. Using a pencil, lightly draw an arc from edge to edge and then cut it out with a pair of scissors. This is a purely decorative step which you can skip if you prefer, and don't forget to erase the pencil marks if you do it. The next thing to do is to fold the bottom edge upwards. Now I made a mistake here as I didn't fold the bottom up far enough for the decorative choice that I had planned. So I left this mistake in the video because I didn't want to confuse you about where the extra crease line came from. So to do this design that I'm doing, make sure you fold up about 3 inches of paper. And again, squash down the folded edge firmly into position. Then you'll need to open out the ephemera as it's time to use your circle shape again. And this time, line the circle up so that it meets the hinge creases evenly. Draw an arc again. Then cut out the arc shape carefully, trying to keep a smooth curve. This time the pencil marks will end up hidden away inside the pocket. I didn't want to have pockets on the inside of the gates, so I cut them out to reduce the bulk. To do this, I was able to follow the fold lines and cut freehand with my scissors. It's after this step that would be the best time to ink all of the edges and the creases of your ephemera if you want to add colour or to give it an aged effect. After you've done that, it's time to glue the pocket up into place. Using a fine applicator, apply glue to the outer edges of the pocket, then fold it up and smooth it down, being careful not to squidge glue out to the sides. And it'll be better to let the glue dry before closing the ephemera up. To make mats using decorative scrapbook papers, I made myself a template using tracing paper. I sketched the shape so that it would fit inside the front panels, but leaving a narrow border of plain paper visible around the edges. If you're a bit of a perfectionist, you could use a paper trimmer or a guillotine to cut the straight edges, and then just use your scissors to cut the curve as smoothly as you can. I wanted to make these mats for the outside view of the gates and for the inner pocket. I then cut out the templates, and I was then able to place them on top of the design paper to cut around and make sure I had the correct size. Don't forget that the template for the gate can be flipped over, and therefore it can be used for the left and the right sides of the gate, both inside and out. Once I had the pieces cut to shape, I inked the edges of those too. You can then glue the panels into position, paying particular attention to the corners, which may be prone to becoming dog-eared through regular use. For the curved pocket panel, I found it easier to draw around the curved edge rather than going straight in with the scissors. Of course, you can do this with the gate pieces too if you find it easier. I was just being lazy and cut it straight out. I like this curved pocket because I tend to find that I have a lot of straight edges in my journals, so I'm making a conscious effort to be more imaginative with the shapes that I include. The next thing I'm going to do is to create a strap which will be glued directly onto the journal page, and will hold the ephemera in place when it's not in use. These decorative strips are from a kit that I bought a long time ago, but you can use any heavyweight card that you have available. It'll need to be strong enough to hold the ephemera in place. You can make the strap any depth you like, and you will simply wrap the strip around the ephemera, overlapping the ends at the back. Make sure that the ephemera can slide easily up and down, but don't make it too loose that it will fall straight out. When you're happy with the placement, you can glue the ends together. The only thing that's left to do is to decorate the pullout. To do this, I just tore up some narrow strips of coordinating papers and inked the edges of them. I layered them and staggered them to make an attractive background. I used some vintage lined paper, some book page and some vintage paper, just like plain vintage paper. A good tip when you're applying an embellishment is to choose something with a bit of dimension to stop the ephemera from falling down the strap. Or if, like me, you've got something flat like this butterfly, you can gently curve the bottom edge so that it'll stop on the strap and it'll stop it from moving too far up. I played around with the idea of this extra butterfly, but I didn't like it, so I just stuck with the simple idea. And then it was time to put some bits and bobs inside. So I used a journal card, a tag, and then this little thing that had been cut out of a Tim Holtz paper pad. And then it's complete. So all you need to do now is to stick it inside the journal. So to do this, to get the best placement, if you just place the strap around the edge, and then you'll get a good idea of where you want it to sit on your page. Here you can see me lifting that bottom edge of the butterfly just to make it stay in place, and then testing it out to make sure it catches. Use lots of glue to hold the strap in place, as this will need to withstand a bit of tension when the pullout is being moved around, being put in and out. Decide on your placement, and then when you're happy with it, weigh it down so that it has a good hold. So that's today's project. I hope you liked it, and I hope you'll give it a try and let me know what you think. I shall see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye!